Hi guys, Squall here, and for the last time, welcome to another Transport Fever 2 episode. This is the final episode. We've finally reached the end of this series. It's been a heck of a journey, hasn't it? Quite literally and metaphorically. Yeah, so in today's episode, we're going to have a little bit of fun. There's a couple of things that we're going to do today. One of them is we're going to put down the headquarters. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then the second thing we're going to do is implement a high-speed train. Not necessarily for profit, but I thought maybe we'd implement a high-speed train on a journey that is interesting. Takes us over some of the more interesting parts of the map, takes us on a good run so we can pick up some speed. And thought maybe we'd just end the episode with perhaps a first-person journey on that train, just to sort of close the series out. The save game at the end of this episode, the save game will be in the video description if you want to load it up yourself. Don't forget the mods, you'll need the mods as well. They're all detailed in the video description too, so you just need to subscribe to the workshop collection that I have, and then just load the save game up into your game and play around, have a look. There's plenty to fix, as I said before. There's plenty of things that need fixing on this map. It's impossible to keep on top of everything. It's a bit like a game of whack-a-mole in that you fix one thing and then another city, something else kind of pops up. So there's plenty of things to do. Not all cities have the bus networks sorted. Some of the lines are making amazing money, but some of them are losing more money than they should. And, you know, like this kind of thing here, obviously needs to be looking at. Losing 11 million, 10 million is not good. But then again, when you're making 160 out of one line, you know, it kind of compensates for it. The net total, as you can see down here, we're earning pretty good money. I just dropped in a dual stocks on this particular line here. This is the line that runs between Bradford and Aylsham. There's been a huge capacity jump between Bradford and Aylsham. Not that one. That one, thank you. Bradford and Aylsham has a huge capacity jump, so I looked at it and thought, we'll stick the dual stocks in there. In case you're not familiar with the dual stocks, they are an expensive vehicle, but they have huge carrying capacity, as you can see. I'll just quickly bring that down to here. It's the one down here. I think this is a mod. I can't remember. I think it's a mod. 198 capacity, but they're fiercely expensive to buy and run. But if you need 200 kilometers per hour, you know, high capacity train, it's pretty much the best thing out there. I've put 3 of them on there just to see how that gets on. May need to adjust down to 2 or up to 4, I'm not sure yet, but it's taken the edge off this anyway. Right, so the first order of business is where to put the headquarters. Now, I did ask you guys, if you were listening at the end of the last episode and previous episodes, I did ask you, where do you think we should put it? I had my own opinions about where to put it, but some people saying, oh, you know, the highest point of the map. Some people saying overlooking a city. Sometimes I've put things on their own island, just kind of built something. But I think the suggestion that I saw that stuck out the most, and certainly had plenty of thumbs up, was to put it in the place that we started when we started this series oh so long ago, which I believe was Loughton. Loughton is the city that we started on, I think, with a little carriage run, if I remember. I've still got that bridge that's been there for God knows how long, how many hundreds of years that's been there. But I thought maybe here, like just on top of this this wonderful hill, just kind of looking down, stick our HQ in. So let's get in there and do it. Let's bring the brush strength and size down a little bit. Let's create a little flat spot here. Maybe something like that. I don't think it needs to be connected to roads, so we don't need that, but we'll just smooth it in like this. Do we want the trees? Probably not, in which case we can remove them like that. And then we just need to put our HQ down. If I can remember how to do this, you click on your company, don't you, down here, and then you go to headquarters. I do this so infrequently. Yeah, I mean, you can see our company score, 241. God knows how it adds it up. It kind of adds stuff up there. There's your charts, you know, like balance. Whoosh! Here we are, and down in 19. Look at this. This all looks flat now, doesn't it? Just because of since 1971, we just absolutely skyrocketed and never looked back. It just kept on going. Tracks, towns, everything, all on the up. Never went down. Amazing. Total track's almost 500,000 meters of track. By the time we put down the TGV, maybe we'll break that. Anyway, let's build this. Get rid of that. Put our headquarters down. Let's see. Which way do we want to face it? Maybe face it inward into the map like this. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. Because why not? I think that's the biggest one you can get. You could build a little road up here if you wanted to, you know. A little street down the side there. It really doesn't make any difference. It doesn't have to be connected to anything. It just depends what you want. Bridge, nice. Just depends what you want to do. That's quite a steep drop though, isn't it? Let's see. What if we quickly smooth that out? Yeah, there we go. Get a little road up there with some street lights, just so that, you know, we can go down to the shops if we want to. Or send one of our servants down with our $37 billion down to Tesco to buy some Watsits. Why not? Yeah, so there you go. There's the HQ. It's overlooking Loughton, the city that we started and helped to grow. Yeah, cool. Anyway, right, on to the next bit. Where are we going to put our high-speed train? Now, the choice for the high-speed train, if you were doing this the right way, which is trying to make a profit from it, right, then you would start by looking at some of your bigger cities, because the more population, the better. Look at some of your bigger cities like Thatcham and Aylsham. But it just, you know, it just so happens that most of our biggest cities are actually on the east side of the map here. Cities like Bradford, what's that, 4,900 now. Aylsham, 6,000, massive. Thatcham, 6,300, 6,800. All of these are big, big cities. So, you know, you could say, well, why don't we just connect, I don't know, Sandhurst or Princess Risborough up to one of these cities up here, you know? But we've already got really good north-south rail connections in terms of packs anyway. Let's just do that. All of these things are connected in one way or another. Most stuff goes hubs into Bradford, and then it's all connected. So I kind of wanted to do east-west instead, because we don't really have a PAX east-west. The only east-west crossing point really in terms of train is this one here at Mitcheldean, where we go off to Worthing and Biggleswade. That's the only one that we potentially have. Most of the east-west traffic tends to happen via aircraft, and we don't really do the train thing. So I thought, well, let's do east-west. So I had a look at the west side, and that's when you start to realise that things on the west are not quite as good as they are in the east. And a lot of that is just down to the fact that we developed the east very early and quite big, and came over here quite late. The biggest one is, in fact, Biggleswade. So I thought, well, Biggleswade is probably our best bet. It doesn't have a full bus connection, but it has a reasonable, I say that word loosely, bus connection. It has a little station there, so it could be developed. So what I've done is I've gone into Biggleswade, and I've just moved things around a little bit. That pink line there, that PAX line, was coming in down at the bottom here. So I've just kind of punted it up. That's freed up this platform here. So we've got a PAX platform for our high-speed train. And what I'm planning on doing is taking that platform out here and coming along this track, and this will be the starting point. Destination, I looked at and thought, why don't we just go, you know, we could go to Aylsham, Bradford, all these are big, but they're all linked anyway, so let's just go all the way in the corner. Let's go to Princess Risborough. And that way, we're kind of almost going corner to corner on the map. Biggleswade to Princess Risborough. Quite a nice long run. In terms of the journey itself, I don't want to make it too windy, because we won't be able to get good speed or get passengers around and actually make some money. But I thought, let's try and be a little bit scenic. So we're going to come out of Biggleswade, and we're going to come to through to this platform here, this track, and then we'll branch away and we'll elevate. Because I like to go past Mitcheldean. Mitcheldean is a very pretty city, and it's quite big, but it's lovely with all the skyscrapers on the sea. It's beautiful. So I thought, why not come down here? We'll do an elevated rail crossing all over the top of all these ships here. There's another city, we're going between these two. Over this dockyard, maybe, either that side or this side, I've not decided yet. We'll do it as we go along. So we come over the river, past the city, over the dockyard there, and then we come down past not one, but 2 airports. So down the side of this airport, where Lee is, over the top of this bridge, down through Bradford, over the top of all this stuff, skimming Bradford here, right next to Bradford on Avon Airport, or like as I like to call it, Bradford International, even though it's not international. Over here, right? So it's a beautiful run, and then we'll end our journey by basically digging into the tunnel somewhere here. We'll enter the tunnel section and come in to this train station. And what I've done is, I've not done the full-blown bus circuit, but I've improved the bus situation in Princess Risborough so that we can hopefully get some packs on our train. So I've actually gone for an outer circuit on this one, as well as an inner circuit, and then a transfer which links the 2 things together with the train station. We have a platform. I've put a lovely modern roof on. We are ready to go here. We are ready to build our high-speed train and then take our final run on it in our very last episode. So let's get started. Right, so this is our platform here. And we're going to just run straight out onto this track. So we're going to follow this track around over this bridge. Now, we want to stay elevated. Let me just have a look at the topology here. Right, okay, so this is where I elevated the ground, because we're going to need to pick up some altitude, or some height, is probably the better word, and get enough height to get over this river bit, and also what's to come. We don't want to elevate more than we need to. We can delete this track now or in the future, or we may as well just do it now. I think it will be easier to make things happen, so we can always put it back later if we need to, but for now I'm just gonna get rid of that, and then we'll get this track here. I wish you could turn off the tunnel thing. It can be very confusing looking at that. Thanks, game. There we go. Right, okay, so we want to, now this is a high-speed train, and this is where it becomes very important, paying attention to the curve. As you can already see, it's showing 270, so it depends what train we go for as to whether it slows down. If we go TGV, top speed 300. If we go ICE, top speed 280, I think. So as it stands, this curve is okay for an ICE. But I want to click that and start elevating as well. If I do just elevate a little bit, keep the gradient so that we elevate over a long run. Check the top speed on that. That's 286. Okay, that's nice. So we've started our elevation. Now let's just see where we're going. We're going to want to go about here-ish. We're going to aim for the over the top of them docks there, I think, is where I'd like to be. Then we're going to go, actually we're going to go left before or after. We want to go past that airport, don't we? So maybe we want to swing like this kind of direction and across here. Might be quite fun. Okay, right, so if we do a long piece now, and we don't need anywhere near that elevation. What I want to do is just do that and then hold shift and start to bring it down. Right, so what I can see now is the ground actually picks back up again. About there-ish, doesn't it? So it would make sense keep the incline going and let the ground fall away. So let's do that. So that appears to be the peak there. Yeah, you can see the ground falls away and then comes back again. So we'll do that. We'll get a good view of Mitchell Dean. Okay, right, now, we don't want to use that bridge type. We'll change that to something nice and clean. Personally, I like that one. Very modern look. We may need to go higher, but that's already quite an incline to get through at the moment. If we was to further like that, at some point we want to start leveling off. But I need to be high enough later on down there for the bridge section. I think we'll go with that. So we'll click OK on that, commit it. Now looking at this incline here, that's quite a climb. So then at this point here, this is where it should start to pick its speed up properly. But that gives us a nice view of Mitcheldean over here, gives a lovely view of these docks. And then we want to start turning. So we want to come across here. Come on, game. Okay, I'm going to have to start checking elevation points because it's not liking this. Let's see what we've got. So down here we're quite low. What was we up here? So we're 28 meters here at that point. And over here we're at 15, so 28, 20 is there. What we might have to do is do the old chestnut trick of raising the land to what we want and using that as effectively like a waypoint. So if we waypoint it to like here, so we come over the top of the docks, if I try and get to, there you go, 20, 22, down a little bit, 31 meters. Let's see where we need to be for this. That needs to, oh right, we need to be higher because we need to be 38 meters at least to get over this. What's that at? 32. So we're going to need to be at least 40 meters as we come through here. Possibly more. 42, let's say 45-ish. 45 meters would get us through there. Now we can't come too close. If we're going to be 45 meters, we can't come too close to this. So we're going to go, say, from here to... because the aircraft are coming in on approach. You don't want to hit our train. So we might have to just come this side of it. Let's try and get that to 45. Honestly, it's like civil engineering, this. What are we on now? 45. There we go. Right. So if we was to draw from there to there, colliding with something. See, it clears the top of this lot fine. But it doesn't like that. It's clipping into that. So we're going to have to go a little bit higher than 45. Possibly like 50 meters then. So we use this. I wish you could have it show the this information here, height at cursor. I would like it to be able to just display down the bottom here, like all the time, just as an option. Like wherever I put my mouse, show me the elevation, because otherwise I have to go into this topology view just to see like key information that should be freely available. Right, okay, that's at 50 meters. That's at 50 meters. Okay, right, let's try again. So we're going to go from there to here. That looks like it's working this time. Okay, so that's what it would look like. That looks like the planes are coming in. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Go over there at the right time on a train and you'll get a lovely view coming in. In terms of where we're heading, that's a good line through there. If we can keep that elevation through here, we'll hit the hill and go inside a tunnel. That should do us proud. So I think we'll commit that. So now what we need to do is bring this up to 50 meters because we want to make our climb initially and then have a flatter run as possible. That's what we're trying to do. So this needs to come up to 50. Obviously down near the sea, 50 meters is quite an elevation. It's 51, we'll go down just a touch. Okay, 49, that's as good as. So 49 meters to there. What I'm going to do is delete this, because we're going to have to elevate a bit more than we thought. Again, I wish you could just like click delete and just drag and just, you know, delete a load of stuff quickly and easily, because you kind of can do it, but it's slow. Right, so let's bring back this, and what are we at now? We're at 21, so that's not bad. 21, but we need to be hitting 50, and we want to come through over the top of here, probably to about here-ish. So if we get this up to not 50, but maybe like 40, that'll give us a good initial climb to do, and then a small 10-meter climb up to 50. Okay, that's 40 meters right there. So that's what we're looking at to get to there. So let's put that in. Bridge pillar collision. There we go. Oh yeah. Right over this. That's going to be fantastic. What a view this is going to be. Oh, straight over the top of the docks and stuff. I wish you could delete that leg. I'd like to remove that support leg there, but the game's not going to let you. It's going to clip into it. It won't make any difference, but aesthetically, like, if this was City Skylines, I could use the move tool and just move that support pillar just to tweak it, but no such thing in this game. Okay, right. Now then, let's see. That's a bit of a turn where I've drawn it. Might have been better if I was over here, to be honest, because I think we've got to get here. And that might... Well, we'll see how it goes. It might not work. Let's see what happens when we try and connect. Actually, that winds its way through pretty nicely. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's better than a straight line, isn't it? So what's happening is, as we thought, it would hit that top high point there, but then it'll continuously ramp up for us. And we know that's going from 28 meters, I think it was, to 40 to here. And then it's going to hit 50 when it gets to here. That's the high point. Obviously, going one way is going to be quicker than the other. Yeah, you're going to be going from 50 down to whatever to get to here. Whereas this, you're going to be climbing this way. But like I say, it's not about super efficiency. This is a lot about making a really fun and interesting journey through the map, as much as anything else. Right, let's see what that does. So we've maintained our high speed through that. Great stuff. That brings us through that, and then right past the airport. So if you time that right, it'll look fantastic. Now, in terms of these supports and things, we can smooth these out, make them look natural. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. It depends how you want to, you know, do it. You could build up a hill here and then have a valley cut through. Whatever, you know. This is, let's see, this is now 50 meters. And our destination is at 55. That's interesting. So we still got to climb 5 meters, which is kind of useful, actually. What we want to do is make sure we go over the top of this thing before we make our last turn. So we just want a waypoint marker, maybe about there. We'll just bring that up. Now we want at least 50, no more than 55. That is 60. There's a slight delay between you clicking it and it reading it. So that's at 55 though. I'm going to bring it down just a touch. 53, that's good. So we're in between, which is fine. We'll just come through like that. Commit that. check it's okay. Yep, that looks absolutely fab. Look at that. Right past the coal mine. What a trip. This is the best bit. Past Bradford, which is one of our biggest cities in the game. Right past the airport, the train station. Just go over everything there. And then we come into here. Right. Now, this is going to be the slow part of the track, because obviously it's got to make a turn. Not a lot you can do about that. But when you're near a station, it doesn't matter anyway, because it has to slow down on its way into the station. So it's no biggie to lose it at that point. What we can do is curve out of here. Now we want to make sure that is level. It should be level as it went through. Depends what speed we want to go to as to how much curve. Like if we want to go to the right side of that fishery thing or the left side, if you want to go right side, we can have a bit more speed. But then we'll have to turn later. Whereas if we sacrifice it now, we're not going to be doing much more than 135 round this bend anyway. So we may as well sacrifice and get what we want now. So we'll commit that, and then we should be able to link over to here. That's going to give us 293 through there, which really doesn't matter because the ICE won't do that speed anyway. We'll give it a modern tunnel entrance like that. Yeah, so if this is a TGV, you may lose 7 kilometers per hour through there, maybe, but you'd soon get it back anyway. Right, so that's one of the tracks. Got a nice little valley through here. You could probably put some trees in there, make it look pretty. Let's finish it by double tracking and then sorting out the supports so that it looks a bit nicer. Where are we? Back here, aren't we? So there's the split. I think it'll be a very cool first-person ride. Oh my god, frames. Pillar collision. Use scumbag game. Let's try doing it in stages. Okay, the pillar's colliding with something. It doesn't like it. Happens around here, doesn't it? I think it's on the beach. There's something just below here that it doesn't like. It's one of these roads, I think. Oh, compulsory purchase orders are unfortunate. But the show must go on, I'm afraid. You can always build your house back better. Right. There we go. This long run down there. Come on, game, catch up with me. Oh. It doesn't like something else. It's weird, this game. If you do a long run, it says collision. So you do a short run, and then another short run, it's like, yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on. Right. And then finally, as we come around here, we merge like that. Beautiful. So now we do the signal, and this is where, honestly, this is where the auto sig mod pays for itself in gold. Because if you didn't have it, you would have to go down the entire length of this track, putting signals at key intervals, and it is not fun. Okay, so I think it did up to there. on that, and that should do it. Now then, we're into terrain smoothing. Okay, so how do you want to make this look natural? Well, examples are, get your brush tool, you can start raising some blend around it like this. Basically, you can make things into a feature, is what you can do, rather than just have it look like weird and ugly, and like just have some hills, you know? Some hills near the coast, and this just happens to be one of them. Once you blend it in like that, you'd never really know that it wasn't already there, kind of thing. And then finish it off. Maybe just stick some trees and things in places. I mean, this is all map designers do at the end of the day. So there are ways of making things, you know, not look man-made, like you just put them there. Or you can just have, like I've done it before, just literally little support pillars that are man-made. Or you can make a hill with a valley. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. Just make a little hill here. Smooth that out. No, keep it simple. Maybe while this is a logging camp, maybe you'd have like loads of trees around it like that. Because it would make a lot of sense if this was just entire forest area. In fact, the map should really do that. When it generates log camps, it should really just put loads of trees around it. You know, you get the idea. Last one over here. We'll just smooth that out for this one. So that is man-made. But then you could basically say, make it a longer run like that. Smooth it out just to make it look different. Yeah, again, just depends what look you're going for, really. That bit there, because it doesn't... What you could do to fix that is just delete this track, and then when you put it back, you just need to delete that bit there. Then if you lower the terrain, just get the elevation right, there we go. Lower the terrain around it, then when you put this back now, you have the bridge. Because when you put it down, it was on the ground, so it wasn't a bridge section. And that's the downside of having it like this, is it kind of changes it from... It gets rid of these walls, which is a little bit unfortunate. It really depends how bothered you are about this stuff. Everybody's different. Let's just bring the size of that down a bit. But, you know, you could get rid of it like that and then just smooth the rest out. If you want the bridge. Do it like that. Yeah, because you've still got little support, so it kind of still makes sense, but now it just looks a little bit tidier. Same thing down here. We'll get rid of it again, like that. And this is another logging area, so perhaps it would make sense to have, you know, forestry hills and things around. So you just do it like this, smooth it out. And then back. Oop. Let's put that back first. There we go. And then we'll smooth it out. And then maybe we just put like a load of trees down. Big brush, big strength. Use as a log camp without trees. It also makes it more interesting when you're kind of coming along here in the high speed. You've got this lovely big forestry area to go through. It's kind of cool. Then we've got this one, so we'll just smooth that one out. that, and then we go into this bit. I think with that we'll just lower it so it looks a bit nicer. Doesn't make any sense to have that change from one type to the other. There we go. And then punches through a tunnel, comes out the other side, gets smoothed out. Lovely jubbly. So, the only thing that really needs now is a depot to feed a train into it. So, what would be a nice place to put a depot? Well, it's no use when it's all elevated. You kind of want to get it back here when it's on the ground. And I would suggest that this might be a nice place to put one. Maybe somewhere like that. And then just feed that in. Signal before the join, signal after the join. That's it. Just define the line now. So we go, this is going to go what? Biggleswade to Princess Risborough. This is our last ever line, guys. Biggleswade to Princess. HS for high speed. Not necessary, but you know. Biggleswade, where are you? Colour, interesting. Let's just go with a bright green. Now it's going to go from here all the way to here. Boom. Now that one's already green, so that's a bit of a pain. Maybe we'll just change the colour of that one slightly and make it a little bit darker. There we go. Boom! We are ready to rock and roll. Okay, you ready for this? Let's go back to our depot. Buy vehicles. So, if you go to multiple units under electric, you've got the TGV. This is the first one that you unlock. This is like, is it 70s train? I can't remember. Oh, 81. 81, it does 300 Ks. Notice the power, 6,400. Has very good tractive effort though, so it's got great pulling power. If you've got to go up a lot of slopes, this is better than the ICE. But the ICE, the ICE really wins out is it only goes 280, but it has way more power. So this takes an ice age to get up to speed. Only has 6,400 power. This has 8,800, so considerable jump in power. Tractive effort though, nowhere near as good. But it does perform pretty well, and it has that extra high loading speed as well, and an extra capacity, so it can load more people more quickly, and it does get up to speed a bit better. So we're going to go with the ICE, German produced, 1988. We're going to hit add on that. It just comes like that as a unit, 70 million. We'll chuck one in there initially. It shouldn't let us change colour. I think it'll stay the same. I'll put a highlight on, that's cool. And then we stick it in there. And then we watch it come out in all of its glory. Smooth that out there for it. Let's just speed this up a second. There it is. Shall let you bask in the glory of the ICE. Unfortunately, the complexity of the map now is leading to some frame issues. We're doing like 38 FPS depending on where we look. 63 if you look at it like that. Yeah, nice and smooth. But if you start looking at the rest of the map, it starts to go a bit 37 FPS because that's a complicated town. That's just what happens. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll just let that get going. Then I'll chuck another one in the mix. We'll let the line build up. And then we'll go for our final run in it. But yeah, I think it's turned out all right, don't you think? I think I'll just fix that. Just pause that and fix that before it gets too far. Nice bridge section. There we go. Lovely. So this way we're going to come, look at this, what a view, we're going to come right over the top. Fly right past Mitcheldean, which is a lovely city on the water there. Over all the many cargo ships. Over the ore docks. Past one airport. Past Bradford, which is just a metropolis. And look at the traffic. Over many tracks. Massive airport, huge bus station, through the forest that we made. Into the hills. Not much of a tunnel. I thought we'd have a lot more tunnel, but the elevation of Princess over here is quite high, relatively speaking. And then in to Princess Risborough, which, you know, I'll be surprised if anybody's waiting for that train yet. Yeah, they're not. What a surprise. Okay, let's give it some time, and then we'll take a ride. Okay, here is our train, guys. We're about to catch it. This is the last bit of the final episode of my playthrough. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching so far. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and leave your comments, suggest anything you like about what I should do in future episodes or series or other games which are similar that you'd like to see me play. We'll jump on board first person now, and I'll leave you to it with some music. Enjoy, guys. Happy constructing.